All right, guys, welcome back to the No Limits podcast. I have my co-host with me, Manib Ryan. I have my boys Harshan and Deep Singh with me, and we all just watched UFC 273. A really good event. It was really good on paper. And what'd you guys think of it? A little like overview before we get into it.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the event overall was really entertaining. I enjoyed the Mackenzie Dern and Tisha Torres fight. I think she did get robbed. I think Tisha Torres won the fight. The Khamzat and Burns fight was the fight of the night by far. Absolutely amazing. It was everything we ever wanted out of it and more. Um, Aljo pulled the upset that everybody thought he wouldn't pull off, and so fair enough to him. And the main event, Volk did what Volk does best. He
Yep,
absolutely dominated.
yep, exactly. You guys got any thoughts, Harshan, Manib? Any before we get into it?
Yeah, no, it was a great card from top to bottom. Honestly, couldn't complain.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fights. No complaints there.
All right, bro. So then, let's talk about the three main fights. And let's get right into Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. And I'll start off. First of all, hats off to fucking Gilbert Burns. Put some fucking respect on Gilbert Burns' name. That guy performed. He was a heavy underdog as the number two ranked welterweight in the world. He was disrespected hard. And I'm not just saying by people, even by us. We might not have disrespected him like others, but we did not think he was going to do as good as he did. Like, people do not realize the fucking size advantage Chimaev has, and Gilbert Burns performed. And now moving on to Khamzat, wow, he's a fucking animal. Think about it. He just fought the Lee guy in the last event, and he moved on to fight the number two ranked guy in the world. So hats off to fucking both guys. Both guys put on a sick performance, and none of them should be ashamed. I see people talking shit about Kamzat, saying, "Oh, he's not the animal." People say he is. Yes, he is. He fought the number two guy in the world, and Gilbert Burns impressed everyone. And I don't. I know that's an L in the books, but I think it's a W for both guys.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's a huge, especially moral victory for Gilbert Burns. No one did expect him to really perform how he did. I think a lot of people did expect like Hamza a second round knockout. No one really expected it to go on the ground, which it really didn't. But a lot of people expected a second round Hamza knockout. And Gilbert Burns put the pressure on him. He had a great overhand right. He caught Hamza, I think, twice in that second round, dropped him. It was a close fucking fight, man. Really fucking close. And I think Hamzat, a lot of people are saying the hype might be dead now. He's been exposed, but I don't think he is. I don't think it is. As you said, Prab, number 11 Legion Liang jumped up to fight the number two guy in the division, a guy that almost knocked out fucking Usman, and is able to beat him. I know there's a lot of controversy around that, but took rounds 1 and 3. It was a very impressive performance by Hamzat, impressive by Gilbert Burns too, and easy the fight of the night. So such a good fight.
Yeah, see, so you talked about controversy, right? That's what I like about the group of people we have with us today. We got me and Deep, who I know said Kamzat won. We have Harshan. We'll get to you, Harshan. That
Yeah,
said Gilbert Burns won, and then we got Manib, who may not be the biggest UFC fan, but he watched the fight, and we'll get to you, Manib, and
Yeah,
we'll see your reaction, who you think won,
yeah,
without
yeah.
really knowing both guys. But Harshan, let's hear your take.
well, like okay, I think it was clear. Hamzat won round one. Burns won round two. I think round three does go either way. The more I think about it, more I look at it back now. I do see Hamzat like why he won. It makes sense. I
Okay.
could low key have seen a draw as well because that third round was close, man. You
Mm-hmm.
just look at like, yeah, Burns was just throwing, hoping for some points, but Hamza was doing the same thing back. Really, they were both just so gassed, so tired, just hoping for any extra bit
Yep.
points. I think
Yep.
it could have easily been a draw. And honestly, yeah, like you said, it's a W for both guys. But I do think this is a wake up call for Hamza because during the interview he did say I didn't expect Burns to be this good.
Yeah.
If he's shocked with how good Burns is, Usman and Kobe, they're even better. So like he's got to know that it's not easy from here.
Fair point, fair point. And Manib, so I know you watched the fight. Who do you think won that?
Well, I'm not too sure, but I'd be leaning more towards like Gilbert side.
Oh,
I
okay.
say this because okay, so I feel like Chimaev had the first round. That was probably like pretty obvious. Round two, I think it went to Gilbert, but then round three, it was where Gilbert was putting out big right hooks in round three, but Chimaev was still kind of dominant as well. So I'm not really too sure, but I'd probably lean more towards Gilbert because Gilbert was throwing like some nice like combination of jabs and hooks. So I think I might be leaning more towards Gilbert. I don't think that he got robbed or anything, but like I'm kind of leaning more towards him.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, I wouldn't say robbery or anything. Yeah, a lot of people are saying robbery, blah blah blah. Just like it's a close fight. Every close fight isn't a robbery. People gotta
Yeah, yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
It happens every UFC card. There's a close fight. Everybody's like robbery, robbery, robbery.
No, no,
No,
no.
it was just a
That's
fight.
not the case
It was just a good fight. To be honest, the more I look at it, I think it's a draw. But you can make an easy case for both sides winning.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it was a close fight. And I don't think it was a robbery in my opinion. I know in Prob's opinion too. We both think that Hamza won. And I mean the first two rounds are I mean they're pretty obvious, right? 10-9 Hamza the first round, 10-9 Gilbert the second round. The third round is where there's a lot of controversy, and in my opinion, I think
Yeah.
Hamza pushed the pace. He kept his distance. Gilbert showed throughout the fight, or well, throughout that round, that he was gassed. You could clearly see it. He was starting to get gassed, and you could see it in his form. He started getting sloppy. He kind of kept on spamming that overhand right to try to get that knockout finish. And obviously, in the judge's eyes, if you look sloppy, it looks like you're losing the fight. Hamza was composed. He was pressing the action. He had a strong jab. He kept his distance whenever Gilbert would throw the overhand right. And I actually have some of the stats here. And for round three, Gilbert did land at a higher percentage. He landed 45 strikes of 68, while Hamza did land 44 of 94. But
Hmm.
that difference in striking and the amount of strikes thrown shows that Hamza was pushing the pressure. And with Gilbert looking tired and Hamza being able to keep the distance, I think that's what really got Hamza that third round to secure that win.
Yeah, honestly, it was really close. Like when they were clinching, like you could tell how tired Gilbert was. But it's not like Hamza was like, fully good, ready to go. He was tired as shit too.
And honestly, like speak of him being tired, do you guys think that it could possibly because he's also fasting?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to actually get into that. So, I'm not Muslim. I know Manib is Muslim here, and I wanted to get Manib's perspective on like how Ramadan can like affect someone's performance, especially in like combat sports.
Well, obviously in Ramadan you're not like really eating, till before sunrise and then before well after sunset. So that could take a toll on someone that's doing training while also not being able to eat because food is essential when you're training obviously and you need to watch your diet, things like that, calories, things like that. So you need the energy. That energy comes from food, but when you're not eating, it obviously takes a toll on someone, especially a UFC fighter, because you're fighting in the ring. You don't have the amount of energy that you really need. But props to Shemaev though. He didn't look like he did too bad. He probably would have done better if he wasn't fasting. But then again, I'm not too sure. Obviously, we can't do that again. So
Uh,
Yeah, honestly though, I do think, of course, it did affect his performance as well. But I think like the result would have been the same. The fight would have been pretty much the same. Burns would have done equally as good, in my opinion. Yeah, like of course it does take a little bit away, but then again, these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing.
yeah,
and
he probably found like a way around it, just to like have like a different type of routine or just train a different way just to, maximize his efficiency.
and honestly, talking about like efficiency, we also have to take in that like Hamzat is definitely a larger fighter. He definitely is a very large welterweight, and we saw when he, for example, wrestled Jack Hermanson. I think he clocked in at like 187, 182, 182 to 187, somewhere in that range. So he's clearly a very big welterweight and definitely cut to make that. So do you guys think he's cutting too much weight?
Yeah.
On,
So go ahead, Harshan.
I mean, yeah, like I seen like a lot of people say he looks unhealthy. I mean, of course, like fasting has to do with that as well. But yeah, I think he's cutting too much weight, man. He'd be way better at middleweight for sure.
Yeah, so here's the thing what I think. I don't think he looks unhealthy, but I think he's 6'2", 170. That's just I don't know. I don't That's just weird, you know? Like that's way too underweight for a 6'2" guy.
Yeah.
And but then I see him I see what he's doing because he has a huge advantage over these welterweights because of the size difference, right? And then if he goes to like middleweight and fights a guy like Israel Adesanya, I don't think that goes his way. I think Israel Adesanya wins that
I
fight.
think a couple of middleweights could beat him. Honestly, I think uh, Paulo Costa would be a good fight for him. Who knows? Robert Whittaker
Yeah,
would be a great fight for him as well.
I think
Those two fighters,
Vittori would be amazing as well.
Marvin Vittori, yeah, like middleweight, Hamza would. I wouldn't say struggle, but it'd definitely be much harder for him. Those are some really good fighters.
yeah, I also want to give him some credit though. Like I know, so here's the thing: when people hype up someone so much, they have high expectations for them. Like yo, this fight kind of reminds me of like Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. Like that fight was a war, right? And then Justin Gaethje won that, even though it was what's it called, a clear, like a good fight. Sorry, like a close fight, right? But then Justin Gaethje gets the title shot. Khamzat Chimaev like kind of does the same thing, and then people are saying, "Oh, nah, he's not even that good." This, that. People got to realize the high expectations they gave this guy, and you guys aren't gonna always get what you want. You know, like the amount of pressure. I don't think he has pressure on him, but like, do you guys get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think what else to add on to what you're saying, Hamzat is also like really young. Like he's 27.
Yeah.
The guy's gonna be around for a while.
I mean,
Yep.
honestly,
Yep.
who knows where he could go from? Like you said, he's young as shit. So
And honestly, even talking about the hype, like honestly, shout out to Fuzzle for this because he said that reminded him of how. So what Fuzzle said is he believes that the hype might be getting to his head, just like how Ngannou was 3 years ago when he faced off against Stipe. He had all the hype that okay, he could just knock out anyone, steam through anyone, right? And we saw what happened against the fight against Stipe. He lost and he got dominated. So, do you guys also think that the hype might be getting to his head?
I was just about to say this. Like, yeah, like for sure, because that first fight with Stipe and Francis, he definitely got humbled badly. You could just tell, right? He was deflated as well. Like he just lost a lot mentally. Hamza needs to know that it's gonna get harder. Like I said before, Kobe and Usman. Those are two of the best in the division by far. Right? Everybody says this. They're just ahead of everybody else. So he needs to take this Burns fight and look that he almost got knocked out because he got dropped. Usman and Kobe, man, like he's got to, I'd say, prepare better and not have that ego. Like, that whole smash, I'm gonna smash you. No, like, bro, Usman is slowly walking towards the GOAT debate. Like, come on, you're not gonna just go in there and smash him.
Yep. Yep. I think people are crazy that were saying, "Oh, nah, Kamza would be the favorite against Usman." Like, yo, shut up.
No chance.
Just shut
Usman
up.
should be the favorite by a mile. He's almost in the GOAT combo. Like, come on, he's like the most dominant fighter in the UFC right now, probably.
Yeah. So, you guys have anything else to say, or should we move on?
I guess
Well,
I don't really have anything else to say on this topic.
Yeah. So the next fight, the co-main event, another controversial and shocking fight: Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan or Peter Yan, whatever. I don't.
Piotr.
Yeah. I don't want to disrespect the Russians, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. But
Piotr.
to us, he's Peter Yan. That's what we're gonna say. So regarding this fight, I'm gonna say right now, I had Peter Yan winning. Like I thought he was gonna win, But I was not like the rest who thought, oh, Aljo's just gonna get fucking murdered, this, that. Do people forget how good Aljo is? That guy's a beast, bro. He's a submission fucking god.
Yeah,
And
he
and
was kind
yo,
of disrespected a lot as well, for sure.
yup, and then so this is what Aljo's been saying throughout the whole lead up. He says, "Yep, I know last fight I did shit, but I'm not the same Aljo." He's been saying that, and no one listened. Everyone's like, "No, he's gonna get murdered." This, that, right? Well, what happened? He didn't get murdered, and he fucked up all our parlays because everyone had that one same parlay: Kamza, Aljo, and fucking Volkanovski.
Yeah,
And
fucked it up.
sorry, I meant Kamza, Yan, and Volkanovski, and then there you go. Aljo fucking takes all our money. So fair play, man. Aljo did really good. I thought he won that fight. I know there's controversy behind that, but let's get your guys' reaction.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you too. Aljo came out. He showed that he improved. He clearly took it very seriously. He had like what, a year to train for this fight. I know he had surgery. I think he had surgery for his nose. He
Yeah,
trained clearly searched. He clearly trained for this fight very hard. He was very determined, and he had a lot of self belief. Like he kept on saying like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna win. You guys better bet on me because it's easy money. And he came out and he proved it. He completely dominated him with his wrestling in rounds 2 and round 3. He had, I think, in total 7 minutes and 55 seconds of ground control time, which is a shit ton of ground control time. The guy, his grappling is amazing. His wrestling is amazing, and that body triangle he did, that was a really good body triangle. Honestly, he kept
yep.
Piotr in his place. He kept Piotr where he wanted him to. And even though people may have seen it as boring, at the end of the day, the guy came out. He said what he was going to do. He was going to prove everyone wrong, and you got to respect him for that.
100%. And Peter Yan's a fucking beast, bro. That's not an easy victory. In my opinion, I used to say Peter Yan has one of the best boxing in the fucking UFC,
Does.
and that wasn't enough to
Yeah,
beat Aljo.
he's a beast and everything, but yeah, he got out wrestled. I mean, he did come back late fight. Of course, everybody knows he won round 4 and 5, and then of course Sterling won 2 and 3. Round one's the controversial one. You know, some people are saying robbery, this, that. Man, it was close, but it's just the ground control time of the rounds 2 and 3 were like dominated. Like he had him there pretty much.
Yeah. I thought
Like,
round two was arguably a 10-8.
yeah, a lot of people say. I think it has to be. He pretty much had him there from the start,
We
and it.
dominated him,
Yeah.
bro.
Round 3, it was kind of the same thing. Round 4 and 5, yeah, they were pretty good rounds for Piotr, and it just comes back to round 1.
Well, they can look back at that. But
Yeah.
Deep, what were you saying before the pod started about Dana White?
Oh, so I know one topic we were talking about before this started is what Piotr does next.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, shout out to Fuzzle because he told me this. He said Dana believes that Piotr won the fight. So,
Oh,
does
really?
this mean that Piotr will get a rematch?
Wow, that's tricky. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I would have said
And,
no.
and, and don't forget the context, right? The first fight, although he is down 0-2, right?
Mhm.
First fight, he did dominate. He
Mhm.
dominated that fight, and he only
Yeah.
lost because of that illegal knee. So, do you guys think
I just
it's
can't see
a
that.
rematch?
I mean, I was gonna say yeah, right. If he didn't call out Dillashaw and Dillashaw didn't respond the way he did, I feel
Yeah, that's also a good
like,
point.
like I feel like if that never happened, yeah, this could have easily been a rematch right away. But I think that's the fight to go now, Sterling and Dillashaw.
Man,
Honestly,
even Petr Yan's fucking post fight interview, he's like, I got robbed, and I think he accidentally said that he won round two. I
Yeah,
doubt
no,
he really
yeah,
thinks that.
I think he meant to say round
he won
4.
1, 4, and 5. Yeah, his English isn't the best, so it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Go ahead.
Oh, so what I was gonna say is, since we are talking about TJ, honestly, I think TJ takes Aljamain.
Really? Do you think so?
Honestly, I do think so. He has a very strong wrestling pedigree, so he definitely can stop Aljamain's takedowns. And obviously with Alpha Team, he did that. with so he did that, and he has a very strong wrestling pedigree, and he's improved his striking a lot, and obviously we saw that with the Garbrandt fights where Garbrandt was the better striker on the feet, and he was able to knock him out
Yeah.
both times. So I think honestly, and TJ's performance against Corey, who was another strong striker, he was able to perform very well. He has that wrestling pedigree from Uriah Faber. Honestly, I think TJ takes him.
Yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I do too. To be honest, even though those were two controversial fights, I've heard Corey won, and he was for the other fight he was on something. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think he does beat Sterling as well. To be honest, he has everything. He has all the tools needed.
I don't know. I'm just like I wouldn't know who to choose for that fight right now. So that's
Oh,
why it's an interesting fight. You never
mhm.
know.
I mean, yeah, we don't know if that's the next fight, but like, it probably should be, But who knows? After hearing that Dana White thing, could be anything.
Damn, but I'm surprised Dana White just publicly said that and shamed his fucking champion.
I mean, yeah, but he also has a history of that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dickhead, isn't he?
Yeah, he shot all over Anderson Silva when the performance against Damian Maia wasn't good. He shot all over GSP when he thought Johnny Hendricks won. He believed that Max Holloway beat Volkanovski too, and he even said, I think in the post-fight interview, he even said like, "Who here in the audience believes?" And he was talking to reporters, right? He said, "Who here in the audience believes that Max lost? Raise your hands." And no one raised their hand. No
Oh
one
yeah,
raised their hand.
yeah.
Wow.
He was
Like,
furious over that. I remember that one. He was actually mad over that.
yeah, so Dana honestly, like, he has a history of calling out his fighters, but he doesn't care, man. Dana doesn't care.
He's been talking shit about Colby recently too, like in interviews saying, "Yeah, these fucking jackass kids need to fucking know some man code and shit." But then he like shakes their hand, like Dana's a prick. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, that's just Dana, man. Don't forget he tried fighting Tito Ortiz back in the day in
Oh
a
my
boxing
god.
match.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got off schedule here, but like, let's move on to the main event. Alexander Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. Oh, by the way, before we start this, can I just mention how Korean Zombie might be like the first fighter where they just like name him Korean Zombie and like the official poster, everything. You know,
Bro,
how
I was like,
fighters,
what's his name?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You know how like I know fighters have nicknames, right? But they always put the real name up there, right?
Yeah, I have to go
In
search
this
that up.
in this fucking promotion, it's just been Korean Zombie because no one knows his fucking real name. Well, of course we do, but you know what
I
I
mean,
mean.
that's pretty sick though. Like,
It is. It's a cool
honestly,
name.
it's dope.
Yeah, he's just known for his iron chin, which he displayed in the fight.
Oh man, I feel so bad. Like Volk just dominated this fight, though. Like,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
Volk does what Volk does best. Everybody knows he's the best. Featherweight. He's, I, I mean, he just picked apart Korean Zombie. He's so fast. Just clean shots after clean shot. I don't know. Zombie really had no chance, to be honest. No way it started. No way it ended.
oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
honestly, I thought the same thing. Volkanovski was his job speed was like that was
So
insane.
fast.
Insane job speed. He had a great 1-2, which he kept on connecting on Korean Zombie. His wrestling, I could tell that Korean Zombie definitely. I mean, he trained with Henry Cejudo, so he definitely was expecting a more wrestling-based fight, which it was not. It was a lot of striking, and even with him training in wrestling, Alexander still got his takedowns in, and his combinations just ended up being too much. He kept on catching him, and I think the stoppage by Herb Dean was the right
Oh
stoppage.
yeah, I was about to say that was a great stoppage by Herb Dean. I know he's messed up a few times, but yeah, that was a great stoppage because nobody wanted to see that shit go any further.
Do you guys think he retires?
Yeah, I was about to say the way like he was talking in the interview and everything, and he was crying afterwards. He
Mhm.
took a moment, dropped on his knees, and everything in the middle or like in the octagon somewhere. So this honestly might be the end for Korean Zombie.
Yeah.
Who does he really fight right now? Like, I don't really think many people want to see him versus Max Holloway. He lost against Yair. He's lost against Brian Ortega. Who does he really fight?
I don't know.
Bro, who are his last opponents? Like, how did he get the title opportunity?
His last fight was Ortega, and he lost.
And he got the title opportunity?
This is the problem. Yeah, I was gonna say this. There's like it's just so bad because Max is rank 1, but he got injured, right? Rank 2 was Ortega. He just lost, right? 3 is Yair. I don't know.
Lord.
I don't know why that happened. And then 4 is Korean Zombie. I think 5 was Calvin Qatar.
This was the main event.
It's like Feather isn't like the featherweight division isn't shambles. The only two I wouldn't say like the only 2 good fighters, but they're just so far ahead of the rest. It's like another one of those, Kobe Usman type things. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The comp in welterweight is way better than feather, but it's like there's 2 guys that are just better than everybody else. I think you can say the same thing about middleweight. You got Izzy and Reaper. It just happens in the UFC.
Hey, don't disrespect Marvin Vettori.
I guess we'll see. Guess we'll see.
Yeah, and I actually searched up who his last fight was before Volkanovski. It was against Dan Ing. IGE is his last name. I can't really pronounce that.
It wasn't Ortega?
No, Ortega.
It wasn't Ortega. It was before that. And Dan is ranked 10 in featherweight right now.
Okay, yeah, so it makes sense. Even if
Lord.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't really stand a chance.
That's what I was saying. Like the featherweight division is in shambles, man. Other than Max, it's like there's no one for Volk. Volk is probably top 3 for dominance right now. I think that's clear, right?
I think he's 3rd pound for pound as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so dominant, man. The only person who's come close is really Max. I mean, I wouldn't, if you want to count Ortega, sure, but he got dominated as well.
Like honestly, yeah, you're right. Featherweight is really lacking, and it's especially its top 5. It's a lot of people that Alex and Max have already beaten.
Exactly.
The only real people I could think about who are on the come up is like Bryce Mitchell and Giga Chikadayev, but even them, I think they're just too young right now. I think Volk is just on a different level. I think they need more experience.
Volk and Max, after watching this fight, I knew Volk was fast, but watching this fight, you actually saw his speed. How insanely quick he really was. Just picked apart Zombie and made him look like a scrub. He made him look like some unranked fighter.
I'm gonna be honest though, Volk needs to do a better job marketing himself. Like Manib, have you heard of a guy named Alexander Volkanovski?
No.
Yeah, and there you go. That's the fucking featherweight champion of the world.
He's a good shit talker though. When he's talking inside the octagon, he talks his shit. He's good at that.
But
outside, he's just I wouldn't say super friendly, but he doesn't say the same shit.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Nobody
I don't know. I only know his name because it was just UFC tonight. That's basically
exactly. Yeah.
Yo, honestly, since Prab brought it up, I remember we talked about it, Prab. I think he just, I think his personality is, and it's good to represent your country. I'm not saying it's bad. It's good to represent your country. It's good to be proud of where you came from. But I feel like he definitely pushes the fact that he's Australian too much. Even in his post-fight interviews, Aussie, let's go.
Man, he's got pride.
Get it, man. You're Australian, but bro, you don't have to make that your personality, all right?
Well,
even the last fight with Brian Ortega, the most memorable line to me was when Brian Ortega was like, "Fuck the belt, I want his head." That was sick. That was sick.
Yeah.
And I felt like Brian Ortega was carrying that promotion too. Volk, yeah, you're right. Harshawn, he's a good shit talker, but nowadays, bro, that's not enough. Everyone's a shit talker, or they try to be,
Yeah.
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 Honestly. Did you have something to say?
I mean, no, not really. Yeah, everybody does shit talk. He doesn't even do it that well outside the octagon.
Exactly.
Just inside the octagon, he talks his shit. But Not the same. That's but
Great fighter. He's
yeah, no, top three most dominant fighter right now, easily.
oh
So
yeah.
he going up to what probably featherweight GOAT. A lot of people are saying he's slowly getting there. So
Yeah, I think for sure he's getting there. He's collecting names and he's doing it convincingly. He did it to Ortega. He just did it to Chan Sung Jung, and he's beaten Max twice. The guy's on the way to greatness.
legit, like it's just the only thing people hold against him is what Max robbed, blah blah blah. On paper, he's 2-0. Simple as that. I don't care.
Yeah,
He was robbed, yeah, sure, whatever. Some people think he was robbed. Paper says 2-0. Can't do anything about it.
yeah. Honestly, at the end of the day, as long as it does say it on paper, it doesn't matter what we think, right?
Yep. Yeah, we can say robbery all we want. The whole world can say it's a robbery. It says it on paper that he won. Shut up and deal with it.
Now somebody who's really good at marketing themselves on the internet, not in the UFC but in boxing, Ryan Garcia. He also had a fight today during the Khamzat fight, so that was very unfortunate for him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Open up Instagram and like I seen he won or some shit.
Yeah,
And
and
the
let me
comments
guess-
and he's ducking Gervonta Davis or whatever. Something like that. That's
let me
all.
guess, Harshan, did you even know he was fighting today?
Nope.
Yeah, that's bad boxing. Because you know why? Because Ryan Garcia is not fighting people he should be fucking fighting. Who the fuck
Oh,
is he fighting, bro?
I bet you if he was fighting Gervonta Davis today, everybody would have known about it, or like a lot more people would have at least, you know.
No, bro. Everybody would have known. Like, yo,
Yeah, 100%.
Devin Haney and what's his name, George Kambosos. Fucking hats off to those guys because they're in the same division. They're the top dogs of the division, and they're fighting each other like very
Yes, it
soon.
would be.
Exactly, that's how it should be. And George Kambosos is the dude that just beat Teofimo Lopez, like, and he's fighting Devin Haney. That guy has my respect. Ryan Garcia, but like, all he's gonna say is, "I fought Luke Campbell, bro. That's not enough. You say you're the best in the world, and you're fighting random dudes. Like, what
And
the
you're
fuck?
ducking, bro. He's been ducking Gervonta Davis for so long, man.
Like, honestly, let's be real. Has anyone heard of Emmanuel Tago before
No.
this?
No,
Who?
Definitely
Yeah,
not.
that's,
Disrespect. No disrespect, but who?
that's the guy he fought. Exactly. No one knows, man. He's fighting nobodies, man.
I think he genuinely knows he's gonna lose, like to Gervonta Davis.
I don't even know, bro. Like, yo, he has the name. Like, even Manib knows Ryan Garcia. Like,
Yeah.
who doesn't know Ryan, right?
Everybody's heard that name, yeah, or a lot of people have. But I don't get why he's ducking, man. He's a good boxer, man. Go fight somebody at the
Oh,
top.
you know he was on the team Canelo, and now Canelo's talking shit about him. Like, Canelo recently just said, like, oh, Ryan Garcia used to come in the gym, shadow box, and then leave.
Canelo's a goat, man. I love Canelo.
Uh,
I mean, yeah, like shit. Come on.
Screws. Bro, Canelo needs to fight Usman, bro.
stop. Canelo by murder.
Canelo by
That's
anything.
by murder.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, man. Ryan Garcia needs to stop being a fucking TikTok bitch and go fucking fight some real boxers, or like some real like talented, like real boxers on his level. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Cause yeah, everybody he's fighting, bro, he's just better than. Like, come on, man, fight somebody at your level.
Or he can come on No Limits, and then he can fight Gervonta Davis and anyone he wants, because No Limits guests are superior.
Facts.
There you go.
That's all. That's the
No
secret,
cap.
Ryan. So,
Oh, bro, he's not joining after we talk shit about fighting nobodies.
No limits boxing card soon, bro. Just wait.
No limits boxing card. Let's get it done.
hey, do we need the top 3 CA fighters or?
Oh.
Yeah. We gotta save that.
Oh god.
Okay. All right, guys. That's all we have for today. That was the instant recap, breakdown, reaction, whatever you want to call it, to the UFC card. And we got to shit on Ryan Garcia a little bit. So
W's.
right? So W podcast, and thanks for joining us, Deep and Harshan, and of course the
Yes, sir.
co-host Manib. I don't need to thank
Sir.
him. That's his fucking
Oh.
job.
Oh.
But-
Yeah.
all right. Peace out, guys.
Let's go, Khamzat.
Let's go.